Good evening, everybody. It is 9:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11/29/2019. The market, 207 billion. Daily, 19.3. BTC at 70.47, and 154 for ETH and 23 cents for XRP. Look at the 24 hours. 3.56 up for Bitcoin. ETH 1% up. XRP at 2.55. Okay, I saw an article when I was scanning the trending news about the pricing of Bitcoin, how it's ending possibly in the red for the month, and I laughed out loud. Okay, there we go. You got the other articles. Oh, Bitcoin's dying. Oh, Bitcoin's got get my drift? Look at the year so far for Bitcoin. Look at what it's done in the last 24 hours. Investments up, down, side to side. They're going to do that. So when you look at the scheme of things, is your investment profitable for the year? Yes, it is. And will it be? Yes, it will be. And where will it be going next year? Guess what? Big stuff for a few of the coins, including one I'm partial to, the Apollo currency, with a huge announcement coming up next week for a new hire of a situation where added to the Apollo mix is going to take Apollo to the stratosphere. It's not just like focusing on one person. It's a big thing, and you just got to understand where it's going to be going. Big, okay, big. Then when you look at what they're doing for the rebranding, Steve made a statement in the Telegram group today, which I'll show you. Okay, and that for the rebranding, which is in the fourth quarter of the roadmap anyway, along with the new UI for the website and tech paper and all that. So we'll just go over that and show you what Steve said. Now, getting over to the news, you've got China crypto exchange Idax. Anybody that watches this channel knows about Idax, and what's going on here is when you look at the wording, it's hard to get it because you don't know if they're saying that the CEO took the keys with him or they locked down the funds so nobody can mess with it while this is all going on. This is what you have to keep in mind. Idax, backed by reputable people, number one. Okay, I'm not going to get into the names of them, but one of them is, you'll know him if I mention a name. He's an advisor to the company. Then you have, they were rated by the exchange listings of what their reliability was, and they said that they had great security pieces put into the exchange and in this article about exchanges, and they rated them as a good exchange. This is not a runaway type of thing. Now, the CEO may have had an issue. Sure, everybody has their personal lives. He may have had an issue. You never know. Could have had something bad happen to him. You just don't know. Look at the other guy that did the bad thing. I'm not saying this guy did a bad thing, but the other guy that did a bad thing in Canada, he ended up croaking. Okay? He didn't benefit. All right? Now, of course, the people got messed up because of what he did when he was alive, no doubt. Here, we just got to wait and see how this all shakes out. But when you read this article, I'll link this down below for you. Actually, I tagged it and pinned it to the last video so you could see it and read it. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on with that one. The Russian central bank says it would... Oh, by the way, too, when you're looking at Idax Pro, they lately have not been doing much volume, even before this, for APL for Apollo. Use Bitmart, Digifinex, and Tilly, System Coin. Those are the major ones. And also Steve mentioned too, which you'll see, HitBTC and LA tokens coming soon for Apollo. Ding dong. Russian central bank says it would support the crypto ban. Of course they would. Okay? Number one, it's Russia. Number two is, guess what? When you have a central bank making a statement about that the private cryptocurrencies cannot be equated with fiat money and cannot be legal tender. Yeah, you cannot have competing stuff with the crypto legal tender and the normal legal tender. That doesn't work. You need to have a replacement for the national currency, legal tender of the central bank, being the digital form, and the legal tender paper, coins of the cryptocurrency to be successful. And that scares some of these governments, United States, Russia, and is a benefit to so many governments that are out there. And in Africa, Apollo is pursuing that with the ADF group successfully. Here, this short little video, take a look. If you've seen it before, get a coffee, a soda, whatever, or watch it again and be proud of what you see.
An MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, has been established between Apollo and the Lesotho government to begin the design and development of solutions for a number of government systems and initiatives. This MOU is a historic achievement for the advancement of blockchain technology, making Apollo one of the first cryptocurrencies to achieve an MOU of this level with the government of a nation. Additionally, Apollo will be setting up exchanges and physical headquarters within the nation of Lesotho. These solutions can then be implemented into any nation, with Lesotho well established as a launchpad for the rest of Africa.
Apollo-nauts, are you ready?
This news, when you look at it, for Apollo and what they just did in Lesotho with the MOU and having the physical locations, loading up the Apollo debit cards and working with the government to make the government better, and it seriously is going to happen, because when you use blockchain for government, it prevents fraud. It does so many more things. We'll get into that shortly. FBI arrests Ethereum Foundation official in suspicion of aiding North Korea. U.S. Attorney says Virgil Griffith traveled to a North Korea blockchain conference to help the regime evade sanctions. This is a bad thing, but also, too, you got to be careful when you're dealing with countries that have sanctions against them and trying to help these people do blockchain and stuff like that. That's why Zimbabwe is such a tinderbox. You just got to be very careful what you do in that country. The FBI arrested the Ethereum Foundation Special Projects Director at the Los Angeles International Airport. God, this guy's been traveling. And not just in North Korea and other places. In doing so, he basically did a bad thing there, son. Okay, let's move on. Bakkt CEO. She, my God, Kelly Loeffler, may be stepping in to fill the shoes until the 2020 election. The governor may pick her. Will she say yes to pursue and to promote cryptocurrencies and Bakkt? Now, she gets a conflict of interest, maybe, for Bakkt, but never know. She could influence quite a few people if she accepts it. Blockchain can reduce food fraud. Remember I mentioned about blockchain, how it can stop fraud. Yes, it can. You got to understand blockchain and what it does, and it clearly can and will reduce fraud and knock it out totally if it's used 100% in the blockchain, whatever department. And it also creates jobs. And it can even eradicate poverty if it's done right. And that's what's going on in Lesotho. Apollo's most advanced blockchain, as the ADF group said, with the endless features and the government features that Apollo is working on. Speaking of that, we have one more thing. Now let's go here first. I want to mention this. The DEX is in testing. You'll see that in one more moment. And those tests could last a little bit, but hopefully this black mode is out this month. Then you've got, beautiful coins. Yes, no doubt about that. The new hire, the big news, Apollo Africa. Ding dong, 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 dong. Africa is going to make Apollo-nauts, how can I put it, very happy. And this new hire is going to astound the crypto world and the world, in my opinion. Yep. Then when you look at the all-in-one, this is why I started pushing it back 2 years ago, because it is dominant and it has everything that people want to use and have. The speed, the convenience of the speed, the fastest, 1 to 2 seconds, sub-second coming soon, and using, how can I put it? Well, Christmas time. I don't know if I want to play this right now. Do I? Yes, I do. High five. Great meeting today with the Reserve Bank of Malawi. Very impressed with their executive team. Again, I mentioned this yesterday. This Malawi country is not on Apollo's roadmap. That they have many other Apollo African countries. I did that 2 days in a row. African countries. I just tie in Apollo to Africa like no other. So this is big. And when you have this progression going on in Africa, you're going to see over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, as Steve said, massive stuff happening. So our Lesotho, with the ADF group signing with the minister right there, and the guys handling legal, and Willie Bestoff, director of operations for the Apollo Africa. It's going to be massive for the people of Africa. That's the ticket. Or look at this new one I just put out. The rhythm is with Apollo. They're doing everything, and they were noticed on the 7 coins to watch in 2020. Look at my last video, I played that. We're not going to do that now. We have more important things to do. Here's Steve's statement. Apollo will be announcing its new structure and products soon. New website, new documentation, new explainer videos, and more. It's on the roadmap. Every government, commercial and consumer solution will be made public and explained. Apollo Foundation, soon to become Apollo FinTech. A fintech company that will provide a large number of products to governments and financial institutions. So instead of Apollo Foundation, Apollo FinTech. A lot of people know Apollo as Apollo currency, but the Apollo Foundation started the Apollo currency and the APL coin. Okay? Steve's comment continues, we will be offering solutions to manage the majority of government functions and services. There is nothing like what we are launching on the market. I highly doubt there ever will be. Very confident. The value that will be added with this restructure will be substantial. The new Apollo structure will be much more attractive to institutional investors than major exchanges. Because again, they're moving away from the privacy mission to an all-in-one and doing this government angle. Yes. Sub-second soon coming fast. I would say within the next 4 weeks, but we'll have to wait and see. I think that when you see the DEX 2 come out, they'll probably do sub-second as part of that. Steve had mentioned that some of the code was already done on that, and they're going to be issuing the new, the added piece to it. Okay, that's coming. Christmas 2019, going to be huge. I'm an entertainer, what can I say? The IBM patents blockchain to stop drones from stealing packages. This is cool. Okay, they're patenting the blockchain to stop drones from stealing packages. Okay, get that? Blockchain. Stop the freaking people from stealing the packages. Okay, good stuff, blockchain. Very good. Apollo's atomic swaps. What is it? Well, guess what? With the DEX coming out, the testing going on to the DEX 2, and everything coming for DEX coming up, hopefully in December, because we're going into December anytime now, okay? So you get the liquidity, get the atomic swaps cooking, have the Ethereum, which you already have in the DEX. It's open now, by the way, DEX. with the Ethereum Paxos. Bitcoin's coming and more liquidity. So this is explained in this article. The link is down below for the Medium page for Apollo. Regarding the testing going on for the DEX, you can see here clearly on the GitHub. Take a look at it. You can see the develop and the DEX 2 down here. Go to the branches, okay? And right there, 20 hours ago, 16 hours ago. Then look at the updates here coming up, and the latest ones. So you can see they have fixed APL 945, fixed temporarily disable the test, fixed client connect timeout, feature APL 952, pass sharding to shell. This is trading view protocol. This is all part of getting it locked and loaded. And this is what these devs do. This is what they did with sharding. This is what they did with the updater. This is what they did with the all-in-one construction. This is what they did for so many things of Olympus protocol and the Hermes setup. So this is why Apollo has the best in crypto. They have the best devs. The first bridge devs working with their own devs. Yeah, the best. Sharding. Ethereum couldn't do it. Apollo did it on the live database blockchain of their own. And it's working as we speak. Sharded blockchain, Apollo. Now, getting into this roadmap, take a look at it. Go to the website, do your own research. 0.008 available at DigiFinex, Bitmart, and the ones I mentioned in Tilly and SystemCoin. You've got, oh, and soon enough too, he mentioned that the CEXs will be coming. You've got that coming. You got LA Token, you got HitBTC. These are coming. And what's going on in Africa and what's going on with the new hire in the short term, this month of December is going to be huge. You're going to see so much come out for Apollo. This is why getting in on the ground floor, like I said, is most important. And keeping and holding while this is going on, yeah. And acquiring more if you can, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. But look at the DAG consensus protocol for next year. Look at the Apollo Cloud, which is going to be big. I can't tell you exactly how big it's going to be until you hear what's going on next week and beyond. Then you've got the ARKNET with the massive TPS of 1 million plus transactions per second. You have the government signing with Apollo. What's going to happen when all this gels in 2020 and you see all the benefit that Apollo provides? What's going to happen, folks? An educated person would say when you do your own research, you can pretty much gander what's going to happen. Apollo, the all-in-one powerhouse, is going to be evident to the world.